Hey everybody, I'm back again. This time I'm actually kind of doing an unboxing video, which I typically don't do these, but I was kind of psyched. You remember my first video, I did a review of the Xeric TRAPPIST-1 moon phase watch. Pretty cool watch and everything. They've done a few other watches since then, and the more recent one is Xeric did a 50th anniversary of the Apollo moon landing, which they did the campaign last year. So it ended last year. The watches just started getting manufactured towards the end of December, and they started to ship out. I was lucky to get in as one of the earliest backers on there, so I was able to pick my colors. And I had chosen a blue supernova and a Cerakote version with a kind of a blue PVD bezel on it, and it's the Saturn V. They also have one that's all white. That's the Apollo version. So, but I'm pretty sure I didn't even know this thing was coming just yet. I got notification of shipping, but when I checked, it still showed that only the label had been printed, nothing had moved. So I'm like, okay, I was surprised. I went to the mailbox and saw this box, and I wasn't sure what this was from. Until I saw it was out of Danville, California, which is the one shipping label for the Cerakote version said it was coming out of Danville. So we shall see. But this is the first time I'm seeing this watch. There's been a lot of hype about it from people on Kickstarter. A lot of great things, and some people complaining about some of the issues with the watch they've noticed. Now, I typically love gadgets. I love automatic type watches, mechanical, because I just think it's fantastic. Something that can keep time, that is so intricate with all these parts and doesn't require battery power. It just requires that you wind it, or even just wearing it on your wrist to help wind the watch itself. So let's see. Yep, this is supposed to be the Saturn V edition. So it's the white Cerakote on the there it is. Check that out. On the case, and there's the inner packaging again from Xeric. Very much like the one I got from them for the TRAPPIST-1. Another, it's like box after box after box you open up here. Let's see, what do they got? It's a warranty card and instruction manual. So, I'm not sure you need much of an instruction manual. Just set a basic watch. So, okay, here we go. Check that out. So again, this is the quartz version of it. You can see it's probably not running now because I believe they usually, when they ship these, put batteries in them. They put a little clip thing in there to keep it from running. Oh, also you have included a little UV flashlight little thing here to make your dial glow just offhand. So, when it's you want to get it to glow and you don't have the power to it. So oh yeah, that's not huge at all. I mean, I think a lot of people like myself thought that this was going to be a really big watch and heavy watch, and it's really not bad at all. Let me see. I usually try and do this in metric, but I will tell you this is about 1 3/4 inch in diameter. Oh yeah, here's my metric ruler. Okay, so the case itself, not including stem or lugs, is 45 millimeters in diameter. So, okay, take the plastic coat off there. Let's see, I'm going to pull this little clip out. I will set the time. It's kind of hard to see that. You can probably see the second hand in there. One of the things that people had been remarking on Kickstarter about the watch when they got theirs, both for the automatics and for the quartz, was how they felt the second hand was kind of stuttering, I guess, not sweeping smooth, which Xeric had said in their campaign. They boasted this as a sweeping star second hand, and it's not really. you know, from a distance, it looks like it's kind of moving smoothly, sweeping. Up close, you could see that that is not sweeping, but you know, it's basically doing the same thing I think that quartz watches usually do. But I'm not seeing that. There's the case back of that. So this is pretty incredible. The case, you can see, it's this Cerakote on there, which costs extra to get the Cerakote. It's got this blue PVD bezel on it, and the case back also is that same coloring, which I love the way this goes together on this white watch band. Okay, so the other watches, as I was just mentioning, coming in different colors, they have various dials. You can see this kind of picture here. There's the Saturn V Cerakote, and the other all-white one, as I mentioned a minute ago, is the Apollo 11. There's other ones you can see the dial colors are different, but you also notice that here is, as I was trying to say, the stars on the background of the dial. They illuminate along with the hour, minute again, and the second hand. And see if I could find some of the other colorways here. You could see there's like the Saturn V, there's the Eagle command module. See, they got different color of cases. Background is different. Like this has a blue background. There's a lighter blue, red, this kind of greenish color and everything. And you also notice that the difference on this here is that these watches you're looking at right here are the automatics, and that what gives it away is because that line on the hour and minute, those are Tridion tubes. They basically, which is a radioactive material, but it glows all night long. They're used in a lot of military watches, compasses, and that sort of thing. And you'll see on my watch the star field that's on this white background. It's kind of reverse, almost negative in a sense. The whole dial glows. The stars that are on there, they kind of glow, but not very much. They're not as bright. I mean, they're dim, so you can see that there's dots there, but it looks like kind of dark dots on a brightly lit field. So it's the opposite of these, and I think there was a picture here a second ago. Yeah, you kind of see that there. How that's the little darker dots. Those are the stars that are on this. There's been some complaints about the luminescence on these, and I don't know what people got. You know, is it possible that theirs doesn't have a proper amount of luminescent paint on it, whatever? Possibly, I don't know. Again, but you know, it can be difficult to see, especially like right now. It's bright and it's sunny in here. It would be hard for me to be able to see anything glowing on here very well. I really need to get my eyes in the dark. I need to get adjusted to the dark, and then maybe, hey, use their little UV light thing here to make the dial glow, and then I could see it. And of course, you know, if I keep this out here where I can see a light really well, then in the middle of the night tonight, that'll tell me 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning if I happen to wake up and look over at my nightstand, whatever. If I could see this thing glowing, then it's working. Your eyes, if your eyes aren't adjusted to the dark, you probably won't be able to see it, if at all. But, you know, I don't know for sure. Like I said, I don't know what other people's experiences really are. They may have gotten ones that just didn't have enough luminescence on it, or I don't know. And I don't know about this one either. I haven't been able to check that yet, so I'll try to add a section of the video on here for this. You see the background glowing very brightly, and the stars themselves are kind of dark. You notice how luminescent the hour, minute hand, and the second hand are. Incredible, it really is. And one of the nice things is they had a lot of extra bands that you can get for their watches. Most of them at cost, but because that they had done such a successful campaign on this watch, they allowed every backer to get one free NATO strap to go with your watch. And I had opted for the NATO strap to get, which was the free band that they gave to all the backers. I got the red one, and it has gunmetal colored hardware, and I just thought, you know, I see a lot of on the astronauts suits. You see a lot of white, and there's always this kind of a red, a brilliant red color, metallic red, and some blues and things like that. But I figured the gunmetal and red strap would be really cool, probably with this watch, because I thought the red strap would go along with that dull stem there. Again, I had mentioned, like I said, I've also got a blue supernova watch that is also coming. They did not ship them together. I'm not exactly sure why, because I know they wanted to, obviously, to save on shipping and everything. This one shipped to me from California. The blue supernova is coming from Hong Kong still, and obviously there's delays with that because of the coronavirus. And we keep those people in our hearts and prayers that things will get better for them, because this is truly devastating to them. I mean, it's just not that they're just losing their lives over there, but also that they are suffering because of this. They can't work. A lot of the factories are being forced to stay closed until the virus can be kept under control, with for good reason. I mean, obviously you don't want somebody in there sick around hundreds or thousands of other people in a factory, and then they just spread the virus everywhere. So this is very nice. Let me see, I have to put my glasses on here real quick, because I did not check yet the number. Oh, check that out. I got number 5. It's very difficult to see, maybe. It is number 5 of 1,969. And anybody who knows anything about this watch knows, understands why they did 1,969, because 1969 was the year that, Neil Armstrong and the Apollo 11 landed on the moon. So, that's why they made that many. But they made 1,969 of each color. So this is one of 1,969 of the white Cerakote Saturn V models. Each of their colorways, they did the same amount. So I know in total there was over 54,000 watches made total of the majority of the regular colorways. That does not include the meteorite versions. I have no idea how many of those they did. So what a lot of people's issue, and mine to some degree as well, was how they, in the campaign, that they mentioned the second hand being a star sweeping second hand, and sweeping being a key word. And it's clearly not sweeping. In the videos that they showed in the campaign, I don't know what they used exactly for movements in that. They had one set up that looked like an automatic, and another one as a quartz, and obviously those are two different kinds of movements. Quartz models, it's a little more pricier to get one with a sweeping type second hand, and the automatics even more expensive to get a sweeping second hand. I do know that they had changed the movement, I think I mentioned, in the automatic, and I don't know if that had any bearing on that or not, because I don't know what the original would have looked like. As far as I know with the quartz, they didn't change that, but it's clear that it's not a sweeping second hand. And I think that if they just said that it's a star second hand and left it at that, I think we would have been good. There wouldn't have been really any issues. I mean, if it looked like it was sweeping, great. If it doesn't, no big deal. But I think a lot of people are really stuck on that. Other than there is that bit of a somewhat of a hesitation or a pause. It's not just that it's ticking, around the dial. It's that it might kind of hesitate for a minute, or take just a split second longer than it should to get around the dial. But I don't know. This one here, I believe it said it had a Seiko VH31 movement installed in here. So. And that was from the beginning. I think that that's still what it is. I don't know that they changed that that movement out for something else. I don't think that it said that I can recall. Very solid feel, very nice, and obviously added to my collection here. I got my UFO watch, and along with the Apollo 11 watch. So So hopefully it's like pretty soon I get the blue supernova, and I'll come back on here and do a review of that one as well. So if you guys got questions or any comments you want to make, please do so. Thank you very much.